up, North County? I'm your host, Randy Doty, and today on the show we have Stacie Athon, and we are going to hear all about this journey with Stacie Strong. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, for sure.
Today.
Thanks for coming in.
Absolutely. This is great.
Very chippery Thursday morning.
Yes.
Right?
Starting the day off right.
Perfect.
Yes.
Well, that's awesome. I mean, you got to, right?
You've got to. Yes.
You got to start off right. So,
yes.
So let's talk about everything. Let's talk about, I mean, gosh, this is your third year, right?
Third year doing the Stacie Strong Fundraiser. Yes. Initially started out just needing to help with medical bills. I can go into my journey as well. And then it's morphed into something more, which we can talk about too.
Yeah, so let's start at the beginning. I mean, like I said, I mean, I don't know where we can go with this, but like I said, you tell me if not.
Yeah.
But it's intriguing and it's big. It's gotten bigger and bigger and bigger.
Yes.
And you have a lot of support behind you, a lot of sponsors, a lot of businesses, a lot of people.
Yes.
So, but where did this start and how did it start?
Yeah, so I was actually diagnosed with triple-negative breast cancer back in October of 2020. And I had married the love of my life, my husband, about 10 days prior. So we ended up getting testing right after the wedding, and they found that I was, in fact, had triple-negative breast cancer. And that ends up being what I was to find out, a very, very hard cancer to treat. So I went through standard care for about a year and a half. I did everything that they told me to do. My oncologist said, I've given you everything but the kitchen sink, was her actual verbiage. And it was pretty gnarly. They put me through a lot of chemo, radiation, immunotherapy. And unfortunately, about 3 months later, after I was deemed cancer-free, I started having symptoms again and feeling a lot of pressure in my chest. And unfortunately, it had spread. And when it spread to my lungs initially, I went back to my oncologist and I said, what's next? And she looked at me and said, there's nothing else that we can do for you. We've given you everything that we have in our toolbox, and you have about 6 months. So enjoy these next few months, and you know, this is it for you. So at that time I was 35 years old, and again, my husband and I looked at each other and we said, this can't be the end. And we deep dove into additional treatment options. And little did we know, there's a whole world of alternative treatments that are not streamlined and not really readily available. And so that started this search to find something that we could find hope in. And we found it. We found it in Southern California. So I found a doctor down there that was willing to work with us, that had some amazing integrative ideas and treatments and things that she had found great success with. And I remember being on a call with her initially, and she just said, get down here, let's do this. You know, her prior history was trauma surgeon, and she's like, we have nothing, you know, we need to do this now. We don't have time. And that was a Thursday. I was in Southern California on a Tuesday, and we started this journey. We thought it would be about 6 months, and 2 years later, we're still working with her, and insurance does not recognize anything she does. So everything that I did and the success that I've had with her treatment has been 100% out of pocket.
Wow.
And she does a lot of treatments from overseas, so she's paying for it, and then we're getting it administered, and we're paying her back. So there's no, you know, I've had people say, oh, just don't, you know, you don't need to pay your bill. No, there's no pay. If you don't pay for the treatment, you don't get the treatment. So we're now, you know, hundreds of thousands of dollars in. And in January, I had scans, and it shows absolutely no cancer in my body.
Wow,
so
that's great.
We've had insane, and that is after from my lungs, it went to my liver, it went to my spine, it went to my brain. I've had cancer pretty much throughout my entire body, and we just kept trucking. There was an eye on the prize, and we didn't give up, and I continued to live down there. I've been away from my husband for almost 2 years, but we knew there would be success. We never gave up hope, and so we're at this stage now that we have really good results, but we want to keep it in maintenance mode, and we have a few additional options to stay in that maintenance mode, and that's really our focus the next 4 to 6 months to get us there. And then we are hopeful that this will put me in a remission state.
That's awesome. That's great news.
Yeah.
But Stacie, how did you stumble onto this person? I mean,
So-
what were you searching for?
That's a really good question. I started networking with other people. I had joined a support group back in Oregon. My husband and I moved to Oregon about 4 years ago, and that's when I was diagnosed and all the things happened. So I joined a support group the first round, and I just needed to be around like-minded people. And I started asking around, and their friends started asking their friends, and I knew standard care was not for me. As soon as I heard from my oncologist, there's nothing you can do. She was very well known in that area. She had been known to find all the treatments that were available in standard care. So I knew alternative was where I needed to go. And I just started deep diving. Alternative treatment for triple negative breast cancer.
And let me stop you right there. And I know I asked you this question when this is the way I work. This is the way I operate.
Good. Let's do it.
What does that mean, triple negative? What is that?
So oftentimes, and I didn't know this before, there's a myriad of different breast cancers. So you hear a lot of hormone positive. So what the doctor does is it blocks the hormone and the cancer is gone, So there's a lot of really interesting receptors that they can treat that will then cause the cancer to die. Triple negative means there's no receptors. So it grows, it spreads, it moves, it grooves, and they don't know why. So it's really, really hard to treat because the receptors that are like a hormone or receptors that are, any sort of thing that they can treat, that is their blocking point. And triple negative means it's negative, 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 so there's no receptors and they have a really hard time.
There's no target to shoot.
There's no target to shoot. There's no target. So they try different treatments and sometimes it works and oftentimes it doesn't. So, they haven't had an opportunity to really, there's a lot of research, but there isn't a lot of successful research, which is why when it came back to my lungs, she said, there's nothing else we can do. So that was really my goal, was to find someone that had dealt with triple negative, so shot in the dark kind of cancer that has had success. And it took a lot of time. And granted, I got this information, I was told I was dying. So my husband and I are dealing with this life sentence and then having to take ourselves out of that and actually start researching and seeking and doing consultations. And I remember the first time I could barely speak to my doctor. I was so overwhelmed, but ended up a friend of a friend of a friend that lived in Bend, Oregon. We're about 3.5 hours away from there, but I connected with her and she ended up giving me this name of this doctor in Southern California. And It took about probably over a month of researching, all while thinking like I'm dying inside, but it was like we can't stop. And we came across Dr. Von Schaefer, and there was a piece when I talked to her or listened. At first, it was pretty overwhelming, but she gave us hope.
Wow.
We went with it.
And so this was a recommendation from somebody that you ran across in Oregon.
Yes.
And they had the same thing, the triple negative?
So she actually had a hormone, something that Dr. Von Schaefer does. She doesn't kill your body with chemotherapy. And a lot of times people will seek her out, even with an easier treatable cancer, knowing that once the treatment is done, once the treatment is successful, they can go back to a normal life. So that was the case of this young lady. She had a very treatable cancer, but she wanted to have life after. And she remembered that doctor talked about the tough cancers and the things that she really enjoyed having that challenge and really get in there. And this gal remembered her talking about triple negative as a part of something that she was really interested in pursuing. And this young lady ended up coming back and bringing that information to me. So that was where it all started. And I don't know if you believe in a higher power, but I do, and I believe it was a total God thing, that it was all set in stone, and this is something that was brought to us because we had probably had about 10 to 15 consults with other integrative alternative doctors, and no one gave us the hope that Dr. Von Schaefer did. So that was it. It was game over from there. We were going, we were doing, we were committed. And I had a family friend down there that I literally moved in with and lived there for almost 2 years. And Cody stayed up in Oregon and held down the fort. And we did it. And I was able to return to Oregon in December. So.
Wow.
And then had good news in January.
So you've been under her care for the
About
last
2 years.
2 years?
Yep, about 2 years, and racked up, and which is where Stacie Strong originated. Racked up a lot of bills, and we knew that we couldn't do it without community help. And we felt like our story needed to be shared. One, because we found this alternative treatment that gave us hope and life. And two, we wanted to kind of go against insurance policies and all of that, because we've tried to reach out and we've tried to have coverage, and they won't even see my success as being anything that they want to look at. So 2 reasons why we're pretty passionate about this project that we're doing.
So did diet factor in on the success as well? Because you always hear, cancer thrives on sugars. So.
And it's interesting you mention that, because I brought that forward when I was in standard care, and everyone denied it. No, Stacie, it's not provable. There's nothing that we can say. So I was naive. I didn't know. I had never had cancer before. And I'm getting treatment, standard care treatment, and they're passing out cookies. They're passing out candy. Oh, here's some ice cream. So here I am eating everything, and then going into the alternative world. Okay, actually diet is everything. So I have chosen to go down that route, and I have chosen to take sugar completely out of my diet.
So you're taking out like the carbohydrates.
Yes.
So you're basically kind of like a carnivore,
I'm
probably.
a meat and veggie girl. Yeah.
Wow.
Good quality meat and good quality veggies. And that's primarily my diet. And I've had great success with it. And I know some people don't choose to go down that route, and that's okay too, but I've found great success with it. Yes.
But it's such an easy path to
It's
be
easy.
on. I mean,
I drink tea. I drink green tea, and I eat a lot of veggies.
who doesn't want to eat like tri-tip and
tri-tip,
all the time?
Yes, I eat a lot of meat and veggies, and I know there's controversy with red meat and all that, but for me, it's worked really, really well.
Well, there's a lot of studies that say otherwise.
And I struggle with low red blood cells because of all the treatment I've had. I've had 47 rounds of chemotherapy, so that's a lot. And so I struggle with low red blood cells, and red meat combats that. So it's been good for my body.
It's like for the anemic.
It is exactly for the anemic. So that's
like
my
I said,
journey.
anyways, I can go down that route, but that's such a great story. And, hearing the alternative side of it, always, I think now with the internet, with social media, it's not so one dimensional, like there's your doctor says this, it's got to be good. It's really not, and you have to do your own research.
You have to be your own advocate. And what I have a passion for now that I'm, on the other side of this and trying to get to a full maintenance mode is empowering people to be that advocate. And it's unfortunate because when you get a death sentence, is that really what you're going to want to do, is deep dive and have to do all your own research? That's exhausting and it's terrifying. Mm-hmm. But if you don't have any other options. So you're exactly right. You have to do your own research. You have to be an advocate. But I would love to be someone in this community especially that can be an advocate and voice for those that can't. And, I feel like I have a pretty good wealth of knowledge at this point with everything I've been through, and I want to give back. I want to share. I want to tell everyone what I'm doing. I want to tell them what's worked, and not one size fits all, and I understand that, but I also know that there's a lot of really cool things out there that are not readily available.
Right. And again, you have to do your own research.
Yes.
Obviously, today's modern medicine is, do it our way so we get paid.
Yes.
And
Yes.
It's almost like, you scratch your head, you're like,
Is
that really
does not
it?
fit all. One size does not fit all. And we are such complex beings that it's pretty interesting that the pharmaceuticals tend to want to say, oh, this is going to work for all, or it doesn't, and then our hands are tied.
Right.
I've been threatened. I've had nurses come up to me and tell me what I'm doing is going to cause me to, I've had...
It's going to cause you to die.
To die, yes.
Hello?
I got a blood transfusion one time in a hospital. I said, never going back. They cornered me. They didn't want me to leave. And I've actually been under what people would see as abuse because of this alternative treatment. And here I am over 2 years later, alive, well, and feel like the Stacie I was
cancer-free
before cancer.
Well, yeah. There's no money in a cure.
There's no money in a cure.
You know what I'm saying?
So I get going on that.
Yeah, well, it's true, and you hear that over and over, and you see cancer on the rise in the last 40 years.
Yes,
and
food,
why?
It's environment, it's food, it's all the things, and I'm not really into conspiracy theories, but I can't say that the pharmaceuticals are not behind that. I can't say that.
100% say absolutely.
Because I've seen it firsthand.
Yeah.
Firsthand seen it. So if I can get this out. So the first
That's
year,
great.
Stacie Strong, we thought we just need to make some money. At the time, we didn't have funds to continue. And I thought we either figure out a way to make money or we call it a day. You know, we're talking $12,000 to $15,000 a week is what I was looking at. So we deep dove. We had friends to come alongside us, and we had such a blast the first year. We made really an amazing amount of money. People came from everywhere. We had community support. I mean, this county is just, it's been a beautiful thing to see, and because of that, we've continued on from there.
You know what, Stacie, that's such an interesting and awesome story, you know, just because of the fact that, you know, I mean, your back was against the wall.
Yes.
You know, you basically had a 6-month
Yes.
portal of get your affairs dialed in, you
Yep,
know.
this is it.
And you said, you know what, screw this.
Yeah.
You know, which is awesome.
Yeah.
And your attitude, I mean, you're just so positive, and I'm sure there's a lot of negative that comes, you know, especially
Yes.
being in chat rooms. And so
Yes.
I always say, you know, tread lightly into chat rooms
Yes.
because, as we know, people like negativity more than they like positive stuff.
They do.
Which is really bizarre.
They do, and I'm no doctor, so, you know, my words have been picked apart. You know, that's not true. There's nothing, you know, I posted a TikTok thing and somebody attacked it, and that's okay. But this is my journey, and I will stand behind what I've done, and if I can support anyone else going through this, 100% worth what I'm doing.
Well, I mean, you're the living proof. You're
Yeah,
you
you
know,
can't argue success.
you know, and I don't want to take away from doctors, and
No.
because they do have their lane. You know,
Yes.
it's the
Yes.
doctors that I think that are like this, that don't want to think outside or
Yes.
even learn. You know what I'm
Learn.
saying? I mean, just like
Yes.
anything, you know,
Yes.
like I always say, a great coach never knows everything. You know,
Always learning.
They're always learning.
So interesting fact, I went back to Oregon with my original oncologist, and I tried to make an appointment to tell her what I was doing, and she refused to see me. She refused to see me. So that's where I don't understand. But I want to plug the standard care a little bit, because I am very involved in the cancer community, and I have many friends that have gone through standard care and have had great success. So I stand behind that. However, when it doesn't work, they don't know what to do with you.
Sure.
So I stand behind standard care if it works. But it doesn't always work.
Do you feel like a younger generation and doctors are a little bit more open-minded to like alternative or at least an alternative side
Addition.
method?
I do. I think there is opportunity for, I've heard a lot of people, so a lot of people come to me with their journeys and such, and it seems like in the last 5 to 7 years, a lot of their oncologists will say, do standard care and add this in, or continue these treatments, but do this in addition to. And I think that's really powerful. I think it's a step in the right direction, because it's my understanding, 15, 20 years ago, that was never even mentioned. So, and the immunotherapy is another option that's really, getting a lot of attention, and that's actually a lot more kind to your body. And I think a lot of the younger generations are seeking out, alternative treatments in that sense. That's still standard care, but it's not destroying your body. A chemotherapy, I know a lot of people that have passed just from chemo because it's so hard on your body. So I think there is, I think we are shifting. I think there is opportunity for seeing things in a different light, but it still comes down to self-advocacy in a lot of ways, especially if it comes back or you're in a space where they don't know what to do with you. I've seen a lot of this. We don't know what to do. So.
And positive thoughts.
I think so.
I think a lot of your thinking, your mind, your attitude
Yes.
has a lot to do with the way that your body functions.
I think so. I think it's
So-
all interconnected. I think body, mind, spirit, soul, I think it's all one unit, and it's been a huge part of my journey, and coming alongside others, and I think it's huge. I absolutely think it's a part of it.
Wow, that's awesome. Well, let's dive into your fundraiser. So you started this 3 years ago.
Yes, we did.
So you're like, hey, somebody said let's
Yeah.
have a golf tournament.
Yeah.
Were you guys golf people?
So my husband's a big time golf guy.
Okay.
So he's born and raised Paso Robles, graduated as a Bearcat, and he absolutely loves golf. Every time he comes home with his buddies, that's all they do. So Hunter's, one of our favorite golf courses. I just go and hang out. He does the golf thing. So yeah, that was his idea. I like to have a good time, so I'm like, all right, you guys focus on golf, I'll focus on the party. So
Right.
it's kind of 2 events in one, and it's turned into a really fun thing. So golf in the morning, after party afterwards, and my goal was to open it up to everybody. I didn't want it to just be golfers come to the after party. No, I want friends, family, kiddos. I want, the wives, everybody come out. So we really made it into kind of a 2-part day. Morning golf, afternoon, everybody comes and has a good time.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's great.
And when you guys started it, obviously, you're kind of still at the battling stages
Yeah.
of this and
Yes.
kind of not knowing where things are going to go. And then, so we're now on
Yes.
the third year,
Third
which
year.
we have obviously great news going into this event.
Yes,
Um,
it's been good. And little do people know, I actually got a really horrible case of pneumonia after the first year because I overextended myself. But I wanted to be there so bad, but my body really shut down. We had a couple scary months, but I wouldn't change anything. And now looking back, I'm glad I was there because we've now turned this into something really, really special. In third year, I feel great, and I'm more involved now than I've ever been able to be. We have an awesome team of people, and Cody and I are kind of in the group too, and so we all just come together, and third year strong, so we're excited.
What kind of reception do you get, obviously we're in the third year. I can't imagine, the first year being super huge.
More
But,
just friends.
friends and,
yeah.
and people telling people and saying,
Yeah.
hey, we're having this golf tournament, raise money, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
the next year is like, oh, we had a great time. Now you're going into your third year.
Yes.
It just seems like the ball is really, really moving forward.
It's been amazing, and I have some sponsors I'd love to highlight at some point as well, but we've seen our day of sponsors come back, and that's been so cool. So last year was more of an official year. The first year was a lot of friends, a lot of family, everyone's coming together for Stacie, and then we saw this as an opportunity. So it's been really neat to see returning sponsors and local businesses and people coming together and really making this into a community event with hopes to continue, and that's really our goal. We're hoping to make this into a nonprofit. We actually do see that happening in the next 30 to 60 days. So Stacie Strong will live on, and we're hoping to be affiliated with Sabe's Wings, which is a national organization that does cancer support. But we really want to focus on the community because the community is the reason I'm still here. That coming together and everyone loving and being so generous and gracious, we want to continue that. And our goal is next year to have recipients within the community that are also facing financial toxicity because of cancer and being able to come alongside them and then give back to those patients. And we're really excited. So this year is all about fostering. We're trying to foster relationships. We're trying to continue to bring people forward, businesses forward. We want to promote the businesses. And then in addition to have this an annual event where people are excited to take part and we can actually give back to community members. And that it makes me so excited because it's hard to be the recipient year after year. It's hard to be like, all right, this is for Stacie again, this is for Stacie again. And to be able to say I've had success and now I can give back and actually feel like I'm doing something for somebody else is everything and all that I've ever wanted. So
And you're able to take that role when you first started
yes.
with somebody else and to help them guide their journey and
Yes.
hopefully for success as well.
Hopefully for success. And, we dedicate the tournament every year. One of my best friends also had triple negative, and, she passed last year, and she was a huge part, and she's a huge reason why the diet's so important because she was such an amazing, I'm going to do this diet, and she did, everything right, and so she's my inspiration. But we're able to then bring her memory in. Jordan Paler was her name, and she is a part of our journey. She's a part of this, we talk about her. We have a table out in her memory, and that's huge for me too because it still can be really personal, and yet we can bring awareness and we can have that positivity as well for others in the future.
Stacie, let me sidestep real quick. What was your background prior to all this? What did you do?
Okay, so I actually worked at Cesslock Federal Credit Union
Okay.
for over 10 years. So I started in the San Luis branch and then Atascadero and then Paso. So I feel like I know a lot of people within the county from that. I was at a private Christian school in high school, so a lot of people are like, I didn't know you in high school, but and then I was the assistant branch manager in the pastoral office for about 5 years. So I got to know a lot of community members through that journey. And then my husband was asked to transition. He's in the wine industry, so he was asked to transition up to Oregon and start doing wine stuff there. And that's when I left Cesslock and went with my husband to Oregon, and we've been there since, outside of the 2 years that I was in Southern California.
And so now you've kind of taken on that role. I mean, sounds like you're taking on this new involvement, this new role in life.
Yes.
To where it is basically the success off of your own personal experiences and journey.
Yes.
To where now, I mean, you could be potentially like this advocate for,
That's my
you
goal.
know, not necessarily alternative, but just,
Hope.
you know, broaden.
Advocate for hope, really.
Yeah.
I mean, because one size doesn't fit all. And I'm not going to sit here and say my doctor's the only way to go or this doctor's the only way to go. But what I can say is I've been there. I've gone through alternative. I've gone through standard care. And I know, you know, and when you're going through that journey, having someone say, you get it, I get it, you know, it's huge. And so I feel very empowered with this itty bitty voice that I have to come alongside people. How can I support people? Because the cancer community is huge and it's only becoming more and more prevalent. I mean, I think every single person has been affected by somebody having cancer. So why can we not come together? And I want, wherever this road takes me, I can't necessarily say what that's going to look like, but we're moving and grooving. My husband also is very supportive. He comes alongside my amazing team. We have a Stacie strong team, all local gals, and we all just have a passion to come alongside, support, give hope, love on, and hopefully have some financial means that we can give back.
That's so awesome. All right, so we're starting this year. I mean, you know, what, June 9th?
June 9th.
And so you got a lot of sponsors. So tell us about the day of. Tell us.
Yeah.
Actually, tell us last year's. How did last year's day of?
Last year was awesome. You know, it was kind of more of the official first year. So like I said, the first year was a lot of friends, family, was very mellow. Last year, we really wanted to open it up to community. So we had a lot of people that we didn't really know, which was so cool. So we started, and we're mirroring it exactly like last year because it worked so well, with a few little updates, but overall, it's pretty much the same. 8:30 shotgun start at Hunter Ranch in Paso Robles. So all the golfers come. We have food in the morning, which I'll plug all my sponsors here in a minute. We have food in the morning for the guys and the gals that are out. We do an opening ceremony where everyone just kind of gets together, and then shotgun at 8:30. They play golf. We have whole takeovers from sponsors, so it's really exciting. This year's a new
Where the sponsors will be at each hole and kind of having their
they'll be at holes,
That's
and
awesome.
we've got some really fun things that are happening there. So all morning it's just going to be fun. We've got some beer carts that are going to be cruising around, you know, selling beer. And so that pretty much goes until 1-ish, and then the after party starts at 1, and we open it up to all. So everybody come, everyone enjoy. Lunch is provided. We have an amazing silent auction. That's been something that I've really seen the community members just come alongside. People from all over have donated baskets, items. I mean, we had a bike one year. We have solar stoves this year. We have all these amazing things. We're at the beginning stages, so I can't actually say a lot of what's coming in, but we have a lot of people that are talking to us. So silent auction is huge. We have raffle tickets that we're selling. We have beer, wine, and actually we are licensed this year for hard alcohol. So we're going to have a Stacie Strong cocktail. So that's exciting. So we're excited for that. And it's a party. We have a live band coming in, and we have a DJ throughout the morning that's also playing music and just having good vibes everywhere. And we party, and we have the event. We have Hunter Ranch until the entire day. Now, we're actually ending the silent auction at 3 o'clock this year. Last year we tried 4, it was a little bit long, so we're hoping 3 o'clock will be a good time to wrap it up. We will have, you know, everyone that's the winners, and then people are welcome to stay, hang out, but usually about 3 or 4 is when we wrap up, and we're doing a Sunday fun day this year. Last year we did Saturday. You know, sports, a lot of things with kiddos and things like that. A lot of people had other things. We thought, let's do a Sunday fun day. So This year we're trying for Sunday, but it's a pretty full day of events, and I love the transition between the morning golfers, and they're all hyped up and having a great time, and then they come and transition to the party, and a lot of other community members just come, friends, family, anybody, and we have a bounce house, so encourage the kids, come on out. The kids can play in the bounce house, and it's fun for all. We have a photo booth. I mean, it's really just an all-day thing. Come, hang out, and get some cool raffles, get some cool silent auction. Negrontes, I will plug them right now. We're getting ice cream from Negrontes the second year in a row. So they have this really cute booth, and they, do all that. So, and then we're hoping to have some other tasty treats from some other local bakeries and things like that. So it's great. It's a lot of fun.
Wow. What about like the golfers? Are you gonna like say, hey, we're like theme it? Kind of get funky and
I mean, I would love. We haven't actually advertised that, but if any of these teams, obviously they're foursomes, teams of four. So if any of the teams want to do, we should think about that.
Like
maybe
colors,
maybe
like
colors,
neons
or maybe
and
have and we do have winning teams. And my husband's kind of more in charge of the golf because I don't know anything about golf, but we do have first, second, and third prizes for winning teams. Last year we had some great prizes. We had some golf bags, we had some putters, and then I think third place was certificates to play at Hunter Ranch for free. So we also have the hole-in-one. So the first year we actually had a Jeep come from one of the local dealerships. Last year we had the hole-in-one prize of I think $10,000. So it's fun. We really hype up the morning as well, and it just transitions to the afternoon, and it's a good time.
Well, with your energy that I'm getting from you, like an 80s theme, where they got the headbands, the leg warmers.
Don't tempt me with a good time.
That seems like it would just be so enlightening.
Yes,
and fun.
That's actually a really good idea. No one's brought that
awesome.
forward, so thank you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tuck that away. Yeah, it's fun, and people really come out. There's just this really cool energy, right? People come out, even if they don't know my story. We have a website. We're always trying to direct people if they're interested in reading the story. But people are just happy to be there. And I think that's been really humbling for me as the recipient and as the person that's gone through it. It just gives me a lot of hope for future, and all these people, they're just coming out to have a good time. They don't know me. They don't really necessarily know my journey, but they're there to support. Yes.
Mankind.
People coming up, giving hugs. I'm a mess. I'm bawling. I'm crying. Giving hugs, loving on people, and it's a really beautiful thing. And I hope that other people feel that too, and we can just continue to give back. I mean, that's really what it's all about. Obviously, I am the recipient this year, and we're praying this is the last year. I have a few maintenance things. There is a cancer vaccine that's accessible overseas, and I'm looking into being eligible for that. It is not cheap, and it's not available here in the United States, so it's wildly successful, and FDA doesn't want any part of it. They don't want to look at it or have any sort of approval, so I would have to go to great lengths to actually have that administered, but that's the goal of this tournament, is to raise the funds for this vaccine so that I can truly, truly be in remission. Obviously, continuing with my diet and other healthy lifestyle choices, and then we can really transition to giving back.
That's so awesome. Well, let's hear about the sponsors. I mean, because you have a lot of sponsors that's been with you since the beginning.
We have a lot of sponsors. So we have two kind of different types of sponsors. We have day of sponsors that are coming alongside us and providing a party. And then we have sponsors that are actually, just paying into a sponsorship level. And I actually have a brochure if you don't mind me looking at these.
No, not at all.
We have a few different tiers of sponsorships. So we have a presenting sponsor, gold sponsor, purple sponsor, and whole sponsor. And each one of those sponsors you can purchase and then have additional signage. We're going to plug you on our social media. We're going to give you a golf team or two, depending on what level you sponsor. We have the whole sponsor, where you can either do a whole takeover, where it's like, let's have a party at the hole. And if it's merchandise, we have a store in Tuscadero that wants to do a whole merchandise tent. We have another one that wants to just do alcohol. So you can actually, for $200, take over the hole. You're going to have your sign there out front. We're going to promote you on our social media, and you can make the hole whatever you want. So there's different levels of sponsorships that actually come alongside to support the cause. And then we also just have the donating sponsors that make the day possible, honestly. So we have Zio Brand Meat. They provide our lunch. They're an amazing local meat market in Paso Robles.
And and I'm sorry, I'll jump in when I know them.
Yeah.
They're out there at Lowe's, in the Lowe's shopping center.
In the Lowe's shopping Learning Center.
And he's just new. I think he's within the last 6 months or so, right?
He's new. He's awesome. He's a local guy. His quality of meat, I talk about quality for me in my health journey. He fits the bill. So, and he has been very gracious to allow us to, and he's awesome. He comes out and, helps us with everything. It's great. It's
Very
actually
cool.
been
He's
a
a
really
one-man show.
One-man show, which I love. He's awesome. And we actually went and visited him yesterday. Today's his birthday. Zio Brands, happy birthday. And then we have Carousel Clips, which is a local, a 2-gal show, and they have photo booths. So they come out with their photo booth, and we take pictures, and we have fun. And there's a Stacie Strong little logo at the bottom of the strip of pictures. So it's
cool.
a lot of time. And Negrontis, I mentioned them. So they actually bring out their little cart, and they have a few flavors, and they're open to everybody. So Negronti's ice cream will also be there. Paso Bounce House, he is 2 years in a row, along with these others. They're all our second year, which is awesome. So he brings out his bounce house, he sets it up, and he actually hangs out with us all day long, watches over the kiddos, and the kids have an absolute blast. So we're happy to have him back for the kids. The rodeo, local Paso Robles, they are providing us with kegs of beer, and Firestone Brewery, they're providing us with all the canned beer. So every guy that signs up, or gal, I shouldn't say guy or gal that signs up for golfing, they get a canned beer from Firestone, they get swag bag, they get a cart, they get a whole lot of fun, and obviously there's perks throughout, as you're playing golf, you're gonna get some perks out there too. So Firestone provides us with our canned beer, which is really, really awesome because we put it all together in the swag bag with some treats and other things. Brian's Bread, this is our 3rd year we worked with Brian's Bread. They're based out of Atascadero. They provide all the bread for our barbecue, which has been awesome. And Brian's awesome too. So go to Brian's Bread.
Great bread too.
Yeah, great bread. And then Starbucks on 24th Street in Paso Robles. We have a full coffee bar in the morning for those that are golfing, and they provide everything for the coffee. That's, I believe, our 2nd year with Starbucks on 24th. So they're awesome as well. And then Cider Creek. We have Cider Creek 2 years in a row giving us all breakfast burritos for the morning. And who doesn't want a Bloody Mary and breakfast burritos? I mean, it's awesome. These burritos are huge. They're so good. Cider Creek has offered 2 years in a row. They get up at 2 o'clock in the morning to prepare and make those burritos, and they deliver them fresh. And it's huge. And they're coming alongside us again this year. It's been really cool, and there's more to come. We haven't quite confirmed, but there is more to come. We're in talks with a few people, and so that's what really makes the day fun and special. And it's a local community event. It's awesome.
I want to give Brad a plug over there at Cider Creek, which
Yes.
is right next to Kennedy Club Fitness in Paso, right across from Walmart.
Yep.
And they make amazing food.
We were there yesterday. Yeah.
Their salads, I mean, everything is just so dang delicious. And they have
Yes.
little treats too. They have their little
Amazing
their little cakes and
cookies and
all kinds of
pastries
stuff.
and I don't want to overshare their personal, but they have some cancer stuff as well in their history and their family that aligns with our journey. So they just have really come alongside us, and I got to meet them last year. That was one of the breakdowns that I had, and just the biggest hugs, and I can't speak to them enough. They've been kind and generous and just so supportive of our journey. And we didn't know them from Adam before this, but this has really curated an awesome relationship, and they go above and beyond.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
and
awesome.
that's really what it's all about.
Yeah.
The community, bringing the community together,
Yeah.
them serving, a purpose for, an event for a purpose.
Yes.
And, and they're just a great, like I said, I mean, hometown is really something to be said, know.
Yes.
And I always say this, and I'll say this forever and ever and ever. The North County is like different.
Yes.
It's like when you say that you're from California,
Yeah.
I always have to have like this but,
Yes.
part, because it's not like everything. The community is so welcoming. They're
Yes.
so helpful, so friendly.
Yes.
It's just an amazing place to live, which
It
is
is.
why people are,
Drawn.
gravitating to this area,
Yeah.
which we're like, no, stay
I
away.
know. We want to keep it the same.
Right?
Yeah.
But, really, you can't, because I couldn't imagine living in like in an LA or something like that. I would lose my mind.
It was very eye-opening. So my office that I had been getting treatment at, they were in San Clemente, and I was living in Coto de Caza with a family friend. And it's wildly different down there. And being there, almost 2 years, I saw a very different side of California. And having to go into LA a few times for scans and different testing that I needed to get done, well, it was wild. So it gave me a whole new appreciation for home. But we love this community, and this is home. This has been home. My parents have been here now 47 years. My dad retired from Cal Fire, been in the community for many, many years, and this is really, and it shows. I mean, this event is a true testament to this community, and I am every year blown away at how much they're involved and come alongside.
So Stacie, how does somebody, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, website, how does somebody reach out? How do they get involved? Are you set up with, I'm assuming there's only 18 holes for hole sponsors. Yep. So those are going to go quick.
Those are going to go quick, and they're only $200 a piece. So get in there, get your hole sponsored, do a hole takeover. Let's have some fun with it. Yes. So my name is spelled Stacie. I just want to emphasize that. You can thank my mom for that, because everything is linked to Stacie Strong, but it's Stacie Strong. So we have an Instagram that's b.staciestrong. That's going to have a link to our website and all of the information. We also plug a lot of our sponsors there. So we really want to give back. We really want to bring awareness to all these people that are making it possible. So b.staciestrong is going to be our Instagram handle. We also have a website, and the website is going to have all of my updates and really go back to when I chose alternative treatment. So if you want to go back, there's quite a few of them, but our www.staciestrong.com, and again, it's STACIE strong.com. You can register to play golf. You can register to become a sponsor. We're also looking for silent auction items as well, whether that's a basket, an item, an experience. We would love that. And because we've been affiliated with Save's Wings, we have a nonprofit status, and every single thing that you donate to us, you'll get a tax receipt. So everything is tax deductible, including all of our sponsorships, and we've been able to streamline it so that if and when you sign up or if and when you purchase anything, you will automatically get a receipt, and it's very streamlined and it all works out. So the website at staciestrong.com or b.staciestrong is going to be our two main. We do have a Facebook, but we're still working on that. So those two are the best way to get a hold of anything. And we do have a site that you can register, and like I said, you can sign up for all the things. And then you can also just do a mandatory or monetary donation as well.
And what about for golfers?
Yes.
What is I would assume, so 18 holes. I'm not a golfer either, so I'm just trying to do the math. I'm like 18 holes and how many
times 4,
42 teams,
So we do what we call a shotgun start. So there's going to be different starting points at every hole. So then they shift around. So we have 120 golfers, I do believe, available.
Already?
That's total. So we are seeing a lot of signups already, but that's going to be max, and we have to shut it down at that point. So if you are thinking that you might want to golf or participate, you can either sign up to be a single golfer, or you can sign up for a foursome, which would be a full team. So if you are a single golfer, we'll put you with a few people, and you'll play with the other three. But I promise everyone's really cool. Or a lot of people will sign up with buddies, and they'll do the foursome, and they'll all be a team. So maybe later when I'm able to come on, we'll get numbers, but we're seeing a lot of signups early on. We actually have an early registration promo code. So when you go onto our website, if you click on register now, it's going to give you a promo code up until April 7th. You can go on there and have last year's pricing. And then after that point, it actually does bump up a little bit, about $25 for after the April 7th. So we're really trying to promote, because last year we had a lot of last minute people, which is totally fine, but we can actually accommodate and plan and have a lot of really good things in place if we're able to get early registration. So we're trying to promote that. And then, military and first responders, those are huge, especially in my journey. I've dealt with them in some scary situations that I've encountered. So we actually have a promo code for them up until the day of the event, and we'd really love to have them a part of it. They do get a discount code, and we're just asking that there's a contact now button on all of our networks, and just to let us know, and we'll give you that promo code. So that's a huge thing that we did this year that we're excited about.
Well, that's awesome. Is there anybody else you want to thank?
There's a lot of people. I do have, you can't see her off screen, but Turnkey Property Management has been one of our primary supporters since day one. My best friend, Nicole Chatham, she has come alongside us. We have a lot of other sponsorships, but I really want to highlight her in being that it's been a journey. So this cancer piece has not just been a one and done. It's been a journey, and we've seen a lot of people come alongside. Turnkey Property Management based out of Paso Robles has come alongside since day one, prior to Stacie Strong, prior to everything else. And it's people like her and it's organizations like what she's fostered that has actually brought success to this treatment. And I can't thank them enough. And along with all of our sponsors, and follow our Instagram page, because we really plug you guys, and we really want to just come alongside and promote you, because that's what we're all about. So b.Stacie Strong.
Well, like I said, I appreciate you coming on. I appreciate how open you are, because like I said, it's really an education, and it's a never-ending education as far as in this, cancer and in the health and the industry and what to do, what not to do, what you said, like it's not one shoe fits all, type deal. So it's almost to where, the journey that you're taking could help somebody else. And in retrospect to that is that journey that somebody goes on could help somebody else, and it just goes on and on and on. So you're starting in Oregon, get your referral, and put you into Southern California. Right. I would love to get her on here.
She would absolutely love to get on here.
Would she? Yep. That would be so. So we talked about before the show of us trying to, be a part of you and helping, to spear this and generate more interest and more, basically awareness. And I'd love to get, like I said, some of your sponsors on here, some of the, the doctor. That would be super awesome.
Yes, Dr. Von Schaefer would love to come on.
So
that would be great.
That's, again, the health industry is it's a puzzle. It's a puzzle. And, there's so many different facets of, this whole box of just pieces.
It is. And a little bit with Dr. Von Schaefer, she lost her sister to breast cancer about 15 years ago. And like I said, she was a trauma surgeon, that's by trade. And she saw the system, she recognized the system, and she said, this is not, and she feels like her sister passed due to neglect, and so she completely changed her trajectory of focus and jumped into oncology, and she's been making waves ever since. And she's just finding new ways and doing new things, and she gets a lot of heat for it. There's a lot of people that will push back, but she's seen immense success with very challenging cancers, this one included. She's actually looking at conducting some trial type things and utilizing my case. So this isn't stopping here, and she's not stopping here. So that's been a really neat thing to see, and she's a lot. I mean, the moment she starts talking, it's just like you're enamored, because she's just got so much passion for what she does, and then has this complete alternative option in her mind, and she's been able to integrate it into the United States and seen great success.
Very cool. Yeah. Very cool. Well, Stacie, thank you so much for coming on, sharing your story.
Thank you.
And I look forward to our next one.
Yes.
I look forward to, the updates. I look forward to the sponsors. I look forward to the progression of where the Stacie Strong golf tournament. I shouldn't say just golf. Stacie Strong Day.
Yes.
The Stacie Strong Day, where this is going and what's it going to look like. So.
Yeah, more to come, and I guarantee with every conversation we'll have more updates. So I'm excited.
Awesome.
Yes, thank you.
Very cool. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you so much.
Well, there you have it, guys. Hey, make sure if you guys have not already, you guys can get over there and check out this website, check out the events, be a part of a sponsor. This is just a fun day. If you're in golf, even if you're not into golfing, be a part of it. Take advantage of this and be a part of the journey with Stacie and Stacie Strong's team, guys. Thanks again. We'll see you next time.
What's up, North County? This is Teresa.
Hi, this is Dave Story, small game hunter with Story Termite and Pest. We're a full-service termite and pest control company. From rodents to termites, we can take care of all your pest control needs. Call today. We can tailor a pest control program that will meet your needs and budget. Contact us at 805-460-0650 or at storytermite.com. Remember, we don't have customers, we have friends.
Hi, welcome to Kennedy Club Fitness, where we have something for everyone. We have weights, cardio, group exercise classes, racquetball, basketball, swimming, and pickleball coming soon. Here at Kennedy, we're committed to health, wellness, and community. Stop by any of our 4 locations: Paso Robles, Atascadero, San Luis Obispo, and Arroyo Grande, or check out our website at kennedyclubs.com.
What's up, North County? This is Teresa Branch with Airflow Filter Service. We are a family-owned business right here in the North County. We have air filters, oils and lubricants, and hydraulic hoses. We provide services that include air filter cleaning, DPF cleaning, and waste oil collection. Come check us out at 1140 Ramada Drive, and we can help you with all your automotive and industrial vehicle needs.
Atascadero isn't your standard getaway. We're unique, just like you. We're growing, transforming, and figuring it out as we go. We're a town filled with innovators, artists, makers, and game changers. We're a little bit country, a little bit funky, and always authentic. We're here for your good times, your slow times, and your changing times. We're all in Atascadero. Come see for yourself. Learn more at visitatascadero.com.
What's up, North County? Nate Santos here, owner of Santos Bros Plumbing. You might recognize me with my dancing horses at local events such as the Atascadero Tamale Festival, Templeton 4th of July, and Paso Pioneer Day. I am now available for all your home plumbing service and repair needs, from minor drips and drops to emergency leaks and clogs. For the best plumbing service, call Santos Bros Plumbing, pipe wranglers to the rescue.